Next terminology, very important for the interview room especially, right? These are things. What is the difference between jar, var, er file, and what is the difference between web application and enterprise application, web server, application server? Next, class path versus path, JDK, JRE, JVM, Java, Java W, Java WS. What is the difference between these? How to create executable jar file? Sir, if I double click jar file, automatically my program has to run. Okay, this is how to create executable jar file. Next, in how many ways we can run a Java program? These are things we require to explain. Are you able to understand that? Okay, this is. So now keep submitting. Jar versus var versus EAR. Jar versus var versus EAR. Okay, keep suffering. Jar versus var versus EAR. Under that, okay, first one. So can you spell out first one? Keep suffering. Jar. First one, jar. Can you tell what is jar? What is the jar? Jar is Java archive or archive. Anyway, some people may spell out as archive or archive, like Java archive file. Better to use. Keep submitting jar. Java archive file or jar file. Can you tell what is a jar? In the last class we covered almost 2 hours I spend, or 1 hour I spend only on jar file. What is the jar? Jar is a group of dot class files. What is a jar? A group of dot class files is nothing but jar at this point. Add jar. It contains a group of dot class files. It contains a group of dot class files. A group of dot class files. Okay, this is jar. Second one, keep submitting. Var file. Keep second one, var. Can you just within bracket, what is the var? Web archive. Var file, web archive. Web archive. Okay. Now what is var or web archive? Suppose I want to build one web application. I want to develop one web application. Can you tell inside web application which things will be there usually? We can write HTML pages, servlets, JSPs, web.xml, like within a web application. Sir, I want to build one web application based on a client requirement, right? Then I developed almost 40 JSPs I used, and 10 servlets I used, assume 10 servlets I used, and some 100 HTML pages I used. Okay, this is. So there are several CSS files, JavaScript file, XML files I used, images and so on. So I developed a web application with all these things, and so I tried. It's working properly. Then I call the client for the demo. I gave the demo to the client. Then the client felt very happy. Yes, it's my requirement. So tomorrow I will deliver. Is nothing but like I can. Now while coming tomorrow, can you please bring a bag? While I am updating to the client, while coming tomorrow, can you please bring one bag? So that person is going to bring. Then, sir, these are 40 JSPs. These are 10 servlets. Am I going to deliver my web application in that style? Can I spell out? No. In general, we never. Okay, this what we have to do is all these components, the total web application, we have to convert into a single zip file. Are you getting? Into a single zip file. Okay, this total web application we have to compress into a single zip file. Okay, if I can convert into a single zip file, then the biggest advantage is transportation will become easy. Just I will send a mail, boss, please find your web application as attachment, like a single, isn't it? transportation will become easy, project delivery will become easy, and the project deployment also will become easy. Simple, client doesn't aware this application structure. Okay, so web.xml compulsory inside web.inf, next servlet classes inside only classes folder. This type of thing, being web developer, you know, but how the end user aware? That's why just what I can do, boss, download this WAR file, download this file and open web apps folder and copy paste, restart the server, automatically this application is going to work out. You are getting? So project delivery, project deployment, project transportation will become easy. And what is this zip file which represents entire web application is nothing but WAR file, right? Are you getting? A WAR file represents one web application which contains servlets, JSPs, HTML pages and so on. If we maintain web application in the form of WAR file, the advantages are project delivery, project deployment and project transportation will become easy. Is it clear? In reality, in real time, compulsory the applications, web applications are going to be maintained in the form of WAR file only. No one is going to maintain in folder structure as it is. Is it clear for all of you, right? So I have 10 WAR files are there. What it means? 10 web applications are there. Are you getting? For each WAR file represents one web application. Right? Now, are you able to understand it? What is a WAR? WAR file represents what? One web application. Okay. What is the jar file? Jar file represents a group of dot class files. Okay. This is next. Keep submitting. Third one. What is the third? EAR. EAR file. Now, what is EAR? Enterprise archive, EAR, enterprise archive. Can you spell out what is EAR file? Okay, here simple. A WAR file represents one web application. An EAR file represents an enterprise application. Are you getting that? So WAR file represents one web application. EAR file represents one enterprise application, right? And immediately you may ask us, sir, what is the difference between WAR file and what is the difference between web application and enterprise application, right? In the web application, we can use only web related technologies like servlets, JSPs, like. But if it is enterprise application, anything from Java J to EE, happily we can use. Sir, EJB I want to use, JMS I want to use. This thing is possible in enterprise application but not in web application, right? Are you able to understand? So what is the main what is enterprise application? Anything from Java J to EE, happily we can use inside enterprise application, right? But if it is a web application, only web related technologies we can use like servlets and JSP. So an EAR file represents one enterprise application which contains servlets, JSPs, EJBs, JMS components, dot. This total thing convert into a single zip file which is nothing but what? EAR file, right? I hope you can aware. So this is what is the difference between jar, WAR, EAR file, right? Jar file, a group of dot class file. WAR file represents one web application. EAR file represents an enterprise application. Is it clear? Right? So this is what is the difference between jar, WAR, EAR file. So what is jar? A group of dot class file. WAR file, web application. EAR file, an enterprise application. That's all.